episode of Hip Hop Hoops Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Igadero.
And I'm your co-host, Chris Blackwood. What up, what up, what up, what up? Let's go.
Listen, we want to thank everybody who's been supporting us. Keep subscribing to our YouTube. Subscribe to our Apple Podcast. Follow us on Instagram. And of course, man, for those guys who don't have the iPhones, or you're an iPhone user.
I'm
my
an
bad.
iPhone user, you know. But those that don't got it, Spotify all day, every day. You know how it goes, man.
You know, shout out to Tidal League, distant
cousins, baby.
Let's
Emojis are up.
Yes,
Emojis are up. It's all love because we got some stuff to talk about. It's all love though.
Yeah. But NBA season is winding down.
Yes.
We got a bunch of teams,
about to turn up.
Who, especially in the West, that are like neck and neck.
The parody is beautiful.
Pause. That's a pause.
That's a super pause. But the parody is lovely.
Yeah, it's super tight.
Yes. That's another pause, but it's okay.
Okay.
No Vaseline. I'll just throw it out there. My bad. My bad. But
I'm sounding a little crazy right now, but I'm excited, guys. I'm excited because the season is finally here. Everybody been waiting for the playoffs.
Yes.
We got it's a crazy race in the West.
Right.
But I'm gonna go to. I want to actually. We got so much to unpack. I want to talk about Chris Boucher.
Yes.
He has his podcast.
Shout him out, man.
He has his podcast that's doing really well. He does it with Mike Roach.
Yeah, shout out Mike Roach.
He had an episode with him, Mike Roach,
and Alvin Williams. The mid-range king.
Yes.
Rat is legend.
Yes. And the podcast, Hustle Play. Hustle Play. With Chris Boucher. They're doing really well. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. But he had an episode where he was talking about the betting and how someone slid in his DMs and they called him a slave.
That's crazy.
But basically, word for word, he said, someone said, I chose the wrong slave today.
Mm.
What are your thoughts about that? Because we also remember Kyrie Irving a few weeks ago, maybe a little longer, when he was talking about, betting, how it's ruining the game right now.
Right.
What are your thoughts about that? Like, someone could actually write in your DMs, I chose the wrong slave today.
That is crazy.
Like, how much more disrespectful?
It kind of justifies why why players kind of move bougie with the fans. I used to get, as a fan, I used to watch Face. I'm like, bruh, I get it. Like, only a select amount of guys make it to the NBA. Absolutely. And you are great. But we're paying to watch you play. So the load management, this, that. I used to get at them, the players, that is. But then Chris Boucher he kind of brought us into his world in regards to, you don't understand the DMs that we get.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if we don't meet a certain quota for a betting purpose, these guys are roasting us.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? And to call a man a slave in today's time?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Who does that?
That's
you know what
wild.
I mean? So when Kyrie brought that up now, and
I think
Kyrie got a man ejected the other day. Got a fan ejected the other day because they be throwing words and stuff. So, yes, the NBA players make a lot of money, but they deserve it. At the end of the day, they work their butts to get to that private organization that pays lovely. You know what I mean?
But we also have to understand that NBA players, they're humans.
They're humans, yes.
They are humans just like us. And yes, they make a lot of money. Yes, they're on billboards, they're everywhere. They're celebrities, but, they want to be regular. Like, we hear so much times, like, if Kyrie Irving could probably just walk the streets normal and no one bug him or no one bother him, I'm sure he'd probably give up half of his whatever to be able to do that. I remember Michael Jordan actually said that as well. Mm-hmm. He said, I would give up half of my wealth and able to be able to walk the streets regular, like with no one bugging me, no one taking pictures.
Right.
A lot of people, and then you have others that just love it. They love that.
They love the fame. You know what I mean? But I think that comes with the territory.
It does.
You know what I mean? That comes with the entertainment aspect of the game.
It does.
But now you adding in the betting piece.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people, and you see it like on those gambling sites. It says gamble responsibly. I think people forget that part, the responsibility part.
I just think it's just this. Like,
I'm like, fams, you can't be getting into a man's DM saying, "Oh, you scored 6 points, but you got the win." You know what I mean? But you scored 10. You scored 6 points. You're supposed to score 10.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I could have won this amount of money. Like, you can't call a man a slave because of that, bro. Come on, there has to be.
Is Chris Boucher worried about that? Like, should he be? His focus should be winning the game.
Right. So, but he did mention players. Now he's not mentioning himself, but some players take that to heart. and then they'll take some ill-advised shots in games, and then find their
Mm,
ass on the bench. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? So
Right, right.
some players they listen to what's being said to them or said
Mm.
about them. You know what I mean? It's super tough to be a professional athlete at the
It
end
is,
of the day
yeah,
in
yeah.
these day and age, in this day and age, because Alvin Williams was sitting right there while Chris was explaining it, and Alvin was like, "Dag, we didn't go through all
You
that."
didn't have to go through all
You know
that.
what I mean? Back then. So I take my hat off to them, and you can't get mad at some of these young boys that are sticking to video games. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Playing their video games and Call of Duty and 2K online, talking to other people, so be it.
yeah.
But they're in the safe place of their own home,
Mhm.
and they could mute, or they're in full control. So I'm not knocking it. Any hooper coming up that plays their video games, go right ahead. I understand. You don't have to
DeJounte
mess with.
Murray actually said something about that. He was on was it All the Smoke? I think he was on All the Smoke when he mentioned like um he just likes to stay in his house. He said, "I stay in my house. I play video games. I watch like 6, 7 games at once.
There you go.
I answer prison calls."
There you
I
go.
was like, he's like, "I'm just chilling at my house," like the other players were like, "Why do you do that?" And he was like,
Mm.
"Oh, listen." He kind of said something like, "I know myself.
Bottom line, if somebody says something out of line, I know what I'll
Like I
do
know
to
myself." So
them.
yeah,
Facts.
But
Ja, you should have took you. Well, anyway, Ja, you know what it is, man.
that's definitely crazy for for someone to slide in your DMs, and yeah, the whole betting aspect is just is. I think Kyrie said it's taking away the purity of the game,
Right.
and yeah,
Definitely.
I feel him on that. I don't know how I would react if I seen something on. You guys know how I get into DMs anyway.
Oh
So
man, you
I'll
you'll
be
go look.
talking,
You'll go looking for him.
yeah,
Yo, meet me at
like
such and
I
such.
get kind of crazy in the DMs, but that's just me. That's just me.
Right.
Anyways, Morant.
He's back.
He's back.
He's back.
Last game, it was last game. He served an 8 game suspension
Yeah.
for his
Time
thing.
served. You
Yes,
got.
Shotgun Willies. Even though I think Shotgun Willie sold that video clip to
Yeah, man.
TMZ, they're
TMZ probably threw a
dirtbags.
nice bag
Let's
at him,
not go
man.
to Shotgun Willies no more.
Boycott.
Let's boycott that because
Boycott.
you didn't have. Where did these videos come from?
Right, man.
And listen, just like Steven Jackson said, and I'm not saying it's right, but all these players go to strip clubs and they're chilling, they're having, and for you to rat him out the way you did with that surveillance, if you look at the floor, you can't even see the floor. All you see is money.
All you see
So
is
he
dollars.
spent a crazy bag in there,
Super
and
bad.
you guys weren't satisfied that you had to go sell that tape because where is the videotape gonna come from? It
Yeah.
has to come from within.
Facts.
So they sold that tape to
That wasn't
TMZ,
cool, man.
and they let it out. But
Right.
anyways, he returned his return against Houston. They beat the brakes off of Houston. Houston is not very good, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
114 to 151.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis beat them, and he came off the bench.
You did.
He scored 18. I think he had like what was this a stat line looking like? He had 2 rebounds, 8 assists. Came off the bench. He had a few dunks. I think he dunked on Kenyon Martin Jr. one time. Was crazy dunk baseline.
Yeah, he's
He
back.
didn't look like he lost a
He's
step.
back.
What is your thoughts about that?
You know
Did he
what?
come back just in time?
Just in time. And Tim Legler, the GOAT. I listen to Tim. I listen to JJ a lot.
I don't
You know what I
listen
mean?
to JJ.
Nah,
I don't
shout out
listen to
JJ. I listen to you, man. Old man for 3. You don't know how it goes.
JJ
But
is biased.
the OG, triple OG, Tim Legler, he said something along the lines of that suspension kind of helped him out in regards to resting his legs,
Right.
being ready for the playoffs. Like, you know what I
Yes,
mean?
for
A
this
lot
long
of
push.
players, like they try to utilize the load management piece to rest, I guess. Who knows? You know what I mean? But during that suspension, he got a chance to really fix up, get a plan ready in regards to how he's going to move, a PR plan ready, how he's going to move after the suspension. But when it comes to being on the court, he got some fresh legs, man.
His PR team looks like they're in overdrive right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, let's get all the clips with your daughter.
Yeah.
Get her over here, have her
Come on.
talking in the
Come on.
camera. But he did that before that anyway, so it's not
Mhm.
like that's not something that he wasn't doing before. But what was the 8 games warranted? Did he deserve those 8 games?
Yeah, definitely. I think the league, the integrity of the NBA, man, they have to do something. And I'm glad Memphis put their foot down. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I was super happy that Adams, even though when Adams being the OG of the team,
Mhm.
spoke to Ja and spoke to the rest of the guys saying we need to calm down, whatever.
Right.
And then Ja went out that same day and got into all that trouble. You know what I mean? But shout out to Adams for doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That the NBA's trying to. I mean, people in the NBA are saying like there's a veteran. There's not that much of a veteran's presence because the guys are so young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're kind of phasing out the older guys. But Adam being a elder statesman, he's doing his due diligence. It was great to see that part. It was great to see Memphis put their foot down,
Yes.
suspend them indefinitely, and hopefully, Memphis makes some noise now in the playoffs, man. I kind of got in trouble because I think I went on Woj's when Woj let it be known that he's suspended indefinitely, and I was just like, I put in the comments like, yo, just let the man hoop. That's all the therapy you need. If you're dealing with stuff outside of basketball. You know what I mean? I feel like, and I'm speaking from me, I always felt like no matter how much homework I had or whatever I was going through at home, once I'm playing basketball, I'm
Mhm.
not thinking of anything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So basketball's the best therapy, man. And I got roasted for that though. I shouldn't have put that in, but I
Because
did anyway. I got roasted, but it's all good.
I understand what you mean by that because basketball has always been my sanctuary. If I was going
Exactly.
through things, I can just play and not think about nothing. But we gotta be very sensitive because it's a very serious topic. The last time someone had a gun and whatnot, they were out the league. That was like Javaris Crittenton and Gilbert Arenas.
But
They
weren't
haven't
they pointing it at each other?
they were doing certain things, but so that's where
Yeah.
they were kind of saying like, "Ja, did you have this gun in the arena? Did
Right.
you bring it on a plane?" And now it's like they're leaving right after games now. Like there's no hanging around. Like
Good.
if we go to LA, we're playing the game, we're out the same night.
That's it.
No hanging
That's
out.
what you got to do.
They got the metal detectors now when you walk into the arena.
Hmm.
It's crazy. And I think the NBA did okay. I think they did fine with it. I'm not upset at it
I'm
at
not upset
all.
at all, man.
Uh
I think a lot of people are upset that what was, I mean, because Ja checked in Florida, I
yeah,
believe,
he checked in Florida.
right? And he was only here for like a week, maybe, or he was doing it for a week online. Who knows how he was doing it?
Mm.
But a lot of people that actually go through therapy, they felt like, bruh, a week is like the intro. You know what I
You
mean?
might be right.
What else is going on? Like they would have wished that during that interview with Jalen Rose, he would have gotten more specific on how the steps he's gonna take to this road to recovery or redemption or whatever the case may be.
He just has to need he needs a more solid team around him. He's a young kid who
23.
who's worth like 300-400 million
Oh,
dollars.
dollars are gonna kick in next season
Like
though.
he probably doesn't even understand. Like my dad has always been the guy who has been the head of the house. Now it's me.
Hmm.
Now people, probably family members coming up to him, you know, asking him for money.
Right.
He probably doesn't know who to trust as
And
far as like just different things. He's a kid.
all the situation that all the speculations or stuff that happened prior to this video with the gun, his sister, I believe, got into a little altercation at a volleyball game and he's
Right.
defending it. Mom got disrespected in the mall and he's
Right. Right.
defending it. Like,
Right.
guys, let's put context around stuff. Like, don't make it sound like he's
I
out
I
here
I
looking for
hear
trouble.
I hear that, but it's also, he had the situation with the Indiana Pacers. It was a gun. His team,
Right.
his guys who were around him. Then the 17-year-old kid that or whatever allegedly got beat up and got or whatever with the gun.
Right.
So it's like been gun, 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 and then
Okay.
you see him
Understood.
on camera with a gun.
Right.
So it's like
Not even on camera. You went on your IG
on
live.
your IG live, right? So I'm not here to chastise the kid. He's a kid.
Hmm.
Kids make mistakes, obviously. Like, let's
No,
not
but
let
a young man
a young man
with dollars.
with so much dollars. Like
Know what I
dollars that
mean?
he probably never thought he would ever
Right?
have in his life. Like the
Right?
man literally bought a mansion right here and then bought a mansion down the road for his dad, and they can yell at each other. Like
Yeah.
he's probably never thought he would ever have this kind of money. He's probably has
Facts.
a team that none of them say no. They're all
Hmm.
saying yes, yes, yes to him.
Right.
So it's so different from it. And I'm not trying to make an excuse. You got to be smarter. You can't be flashing guns. You don't need to be around guns.
Right.
Make all this money, take care of your family, take care of your team,
Hey,
and just live good.
you live and you learn, man.
And
That's
again,
life.
that's life. You live and
That's
you
life.
learn.
You
I don't
live
want
and
to
you
be here
learn, man.
chastising the guy. He's a young man who made a mistake. Let's not kill him for that. Like, if this is a continuing behavior that happens in the summertime and we see more incidents,
Yeah.
then we got to start scratching our heads.
Real talk.
But
Let's start.
Nike, man, you got to do better though, because
Yeah.
you can't be flaming Kyrie for link, that post, and then
Yeah.
this happens, and you want to forgive
Right.
Ja.
Very
You
good
guys should
point.
have forgave Kyrie as well, man. I'm sorry. I just want to put
Very
that in
good
there
point.
because we all came to this conclusion that we know that Kyrie's not racist, right?
Right.
So let's put that in. But Dillon Brooks, his teammate.
Come on, Dillon.
He's been in the news. Our guy, Dillon. Shout out Mike George. Shout
Come
out
on,
Dillon.
man.
Those are our guys.
Those are our guys right there.
Dillon Brooks versus Theo Pinson. And it's kind of funny because
Shout out Theo, man. It's a Tidal League
Yeah,
thing, but we got to get in. We got to get it in.
We're all connected. Theo's connected with us as far as Tidal League. Dillon is connected with us because Dillon is connected with us because Mike George, agent, that's our brother.
Yeah.
So both guys are connected to us. But what is happening with Theo Pinson and Dillon Brooks? So they've been going back and forth where Dillon felt like Theo, he's a cheerleader now.
Right.
He's like, he was a good player before, and now he's a cheerleader.
Is a good player. Right.
And this is not the first time that we're hearing from Theo. Other players speak about Theo. A lot of other players feel like Theo does do a lot of wolfing on the sideline.
Right.
And doesn't get much playing time.
Hey.
What is your thoughts about this whole back and forth exchange?
You know what? It sucks.
Why does it suck?
Because we're affiliated somewhat with both of them, right?
Well,
I'm grateful for both of them being in the NBA. Not everybody makes it. There's only like a selected amount of spots to be in the league. Theo feels like, real talk, I listened to the pod, I listened to his response. If he would have got 30 minutes a game, you know what I mean? He feels he would have been producing more than Dillon. But at the same time, Dillon gets his 30 minutes a game and he's doing what he needs to do for the Memphis Grizzlies. He's a critical piece. You know what I mean? So it's like, it sucks that, Dillon's going to work and he's hearing Theo chirping on the sidelines. You know what I mean? And Theo's getting in his head, But I wish he didn't do the cheerleading dance.
If I didn't tear my Achilles, I'd have been a 12-year NBA pro. We can all say whatever we want, right?
Theo does feel like he has a little real estate in his head, in Dillon's head, from the Final Four. North Carolina, Oregon, North Carolina end up winning that series. They end up winning the title that year, right? So it sucks, but it's great entertainment.
I don't think it sucks at all. I think this is great for the game. I love what Dillon has been doing. I don't agree with him, shoving the if that's what you want to call that, the cameraman.
Right.
I don't agree with that, but
right.
I love the fact that Dillon is accepting that villain role. I love it.
Yeah.
Like he was like, nobody likes us.
Right.
That's fine. My right hand is not here. I'm gonna hold it down.
Shout out the Memphis Grizzlies.
And they held
it down.
They beat Golden State. They blew them out twice. He's talking a bunch of trash and he's playing well.
Bottom line.
He's playing well and he's defending.
Yo, Kyrie dissed him. I wasn't feeling the Kyrie diss. With the jersey swapping.
Well, you have to look. Kyrie's probably I don't think Kyrie did that on purpose. Kyrie
I think he did.
What is your thoughts with that?
I feel like
I don't want Dillon Brooks jersey in my I'm not gonna hang it up in my house.
I felt like he heard him. He heard Kai probably heard him talking smack to Theo, right? 1, 2. I think, Dillon was kind of locking him up a little bit. You know what I mean? Couple possessions here and there.
I think he went 0 for 8 in the fourth quarter. And fourth quarter is his time.
Let's give respect where respect is due. Dillon, all defensive team, we got to make one of them. Dillon Brooks, I'm throwing it out there.
He should make one,
right?
Yeah.
Hurt Kyrie's ankle a little bit. Rolled it on Dillon's ankle. You know what I mean? And then the whole Donovan Mitchell thing. I think Kai and Donovan Mitchell are good friends. So, he had it coming. But I like the fact that Dillon still took off his jersey right to give it to him. You know what I mean?
Listen, Dillon, I'll take the jerszy.
I'll take it too.
Give me the jersey. It's okay.
At Hip Hop headquarters,
give
baby.
Us the jersey. That's
straight
fine.
up.
I heard a lot. I heard a lot with this one. Guys were laughing.
They were
like they just want to make Dillon to be the clown.
Yes.
Right. I seen Draymond Green talk about it. He start laughing. Draymond, I don't want your jersey either. So, yeah, it is what it is. I don't want. If I'm Kyrie and you want to exchange jersey with me, if I'm Kyrie, I don't want your jersey either, Draymond. That's just me. So it is what it is. But I don't like the way it's like they're trying to gang up on Dillon. I don't like
Right
that.
now, right now.
You know, you
You
got
know what I
Clay
mean?
talking stuff. You got Draymond talking stuff. You know,
But right now they're all losing to Dillon.
exactly.
Right
So
now,
where does the real estate
come
really
on.
belong to?
Real
Where is the
talk.
real estate really
Real
at?
talk, man. They're
And
just
you guys head,
let's just wait for the playoffs because now
you
everybody's
know?
saying, "Oh, it's regular season." Draymond's like, I wake up late in March or something along those
He
lines.
can
Like,
wake
you
up
know what I
in March,
mean?
man.
So
If we want to talk about bus riders and bus drivers, Draymond is probably one of the biggest bus drivers to me
mm,
because you've been riding coattails forever. You've been riding.
driver or rider,
He he
you've been riding the bus.
he been riding the bus.
Yes,
He ain't
pause.
been driving the bus. He been
Yeah.
riding that bus and cheerleading along the way.
Mm-hmm.
You got Steph Curry as the top 5 player of all time. It's crazy. It's super disrespectful. You know, you riding that bus. You've been riding Clay's bus. So you rode KD's bus for 2 years, 3 years, and in the Olympics. So he's probably one of the biggest bus riders to me in the league.
Facts.
And I agree with Dillon. You put him on any other team, he's not going to produce the way he's been producing.
Right.
And I agree with Dillon.
Right. You know what I
So
mean? But like,
that's just how I see it.
real
I've been
talk,
was saying that.
real talk, just to bring it back, Theo, you want that opportunity. Come to the Raptors, baby. There's always room. There's always room for you over here.
Listen,
You know what I mean?
sir,
Coach Nurse will give you that playing time.
sir. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on. Theo is all love. Just you gotta stay in Dallas. Stay in Dallas. We're okay over here.
You guys need some wins, man. It's looking bad right now. It's looking real bad over
They just lost to Charlotte back to back. Stay over there,
damn.
sir. We're okay over here.
All right,
We're
bet.
all right.
You know what I mean?
Speaking on the Raptors,
Yes.
what's the record right now?
Well,
What
we
are we doing?
36 and 37. You know what I mean?
36 and 37.
36
What
and
are we?
37.
8th or 9th place?
I believe we're ninth. We're in ninth. We're a half game
Okay.
back of Atlanta, going into the 8th. We let a game go against the Pacers. I felt, but it was bittersweet. Andrew did his damn thing. Andrew
definitely
Nemhort,
did his thing.
point guard. You know
Shout
what I
out
mean?
to Andrew.
He shouted out hip hop hoops after the
Absolutely.
game. And we let that game slip away. We just couldn't shoot. It was just a horrible thing to see.
Yeah.
But made it back against Detroit. You know what I mean? Eugene came down, did his damn thing.
Yeah, shout out Broke Baby.
You know what I mean?
Let's
You already
go.
know, another hip hop hoops alum.
Yeah.
And Sunday we got Washington. Big game. If we win that game, despite I think Barnes is still injured, Gary Trent's still injured. Hopefully we get that win. But the addition of Pirtle, man. I said we needed a bigs couple months ago. And he's the perfect bigs for the Toronto Raptors.
He's perfect for us because he doesn't command the ball a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really good passer.
Great screener up.
Yes,
high screens, man.
Great screener, great passer.
Yep.
He definitely rim protects.
Yes.
He doesn't need the ball. So we don't call a lot of plays for him. He just goes and gets it off the glass, runs the floor really well.
Right.
So that was a great addition. I still think we need to make some moves in the offseason with OG, and we got to see what we're going to do with Fred. Gary Trent Jr. as well. We got to see what we're going to do with him because I think they all want to stay and come back.
They got to take a pay cut, bro.
But I just don't know what we're going to do with those guys. Are we going to run this team back?
We should. Imagine if we had Pirtle at the beginning of the season. We went the 6ix9ine project, which had its advantages and disadvantages. Advantages is we were guarding up everything, because I still think we're number 1 or top 5 in steals. But when it came to rebounding, especially playing against bigs, when we played against the Memphises of the world, or we played against the Phillies of the world, and when Milwaukee's of the world, when they had their dominant big, we had problems. Love you, Precious. Love you, Pascal. Love you, OG. You know what I mean? But you had to play out of position guarding centers. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So at least they got the workout of guarding centers. Now they're guarding their own position. We got Pirtle in the middle. Pirtle setting some great screens for Fred VanVleet. Pay the man, B. Not the 120. But if you give him like a 90 to 100, come on. Hey,
Raptors,
listen. All the free agents, all my free agents, bruh, it's not going to get any better than the Raptors. It's not. Your situation is going to be poo everywhere else. No disrespect to all the other teams, but it's just not going to work. You guys don't have You're not gonna know how to work with the players that we're gonna give you. You know what I mean? And I hope our players
Masai,
understand that.
Masai, please don't pay, please don't pay Freddie a
Come on,
hundred.
those numbers ain't lying. His numbers don't lie,
Please,
baby.
please don't. I'm willing to separate.
Come
I'm
on.
willing to
No, no,
walk
no.
away.
We ain't, don't. You're not gonna walk away,
I'm willing
baby.
to walk away from this man. Don't pay him 100, please,
Come on,
please.
man. Come on.
Go Raptors. You know it's all
It's all
love with
love.
me. What is your is that the most disappointing team for you in the East?
It was. And I'm a Raptors guy. I'm a Raptors diehard. You know what I mean? But they were the most disappointing team to me.
Definitely was the most disappointing. I was
In
going
the
to say
East.
Brooklyn, but then the guys got
Yeah.
traded.
You know what I
They're
mean?
still staying afloat, even though those guys are there. They got a
Shout out
gem
Jock
in.
Vaughn, man. I
Jock
mean,
Vaughn is coaching his butt off.
he's coaching his
Mikal
ass
Bridges
off.
is playing well.
Yes.
You know,
They got some pieces.
Dinwiddie, he's playing well over there.
Mhm.
They need to look into the future though.
Definitely.
So just focus on the
They
future.
got rid of Ben Simmons.
Yeah, Ben Simmons. They shut Ben Simmons down
Shut him down.
for the season.
And he's not on clutch no more.
He's not on clutch. He had a back's a serious issue, man.
Mhm.
So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he did not look the same.
I can only imagine his DMs, yo.
Yeah. So
Oh
he
man.
probably shut it off.
Oh man.
But that's my biggest disappointment in the East. Biggest disappointment in the West for you so far. Well, the season's pretty much done.
I would say Golden State, man.
Golden State.
Yeah, and just because of their road record. You know what I mean?
I think they won like 8 games or 9
yeah,
games on
only
the
because of their
road.
road record.
No team in NBA history has ever won a championship with this many losses.
Right.
Because obviously you got to win on the road, right? That's a huge disappointment for sure.
But I was watching the game against Philly, and at one point seeing Clay, Poole, and Curry on at the same time, that has to be a coach's nightmare to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Any of those three can go off.
Any one of them, yeah.
You know what I mean? I was watching them. I was like, "Ooh, man, yo, Doc, how do you counter this?"
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's tough.
So
and
they can make some noise in the playoffs.
PJ Tucker is cool, but he just can't move like he
Right.
once would.
A lot of
could
mileage
move.
on that, man.
Absolutely.
A lot of mileage.
For me, I'm gonna go with the Lakers. The Lakers is probably the biggest disappointment. I know a lot of people like to say, well, AD was hurt half the year. Bron was hurt. Well, Bron is 40 almost. AD is the Michelin Man, the Marshmallow Man, the Tin Man.
Oh man.
You know,
Tin Man has no heart.
Charmin Man.
I think he has heart. AD got heart.
He ain't got no heart.
He got heart. He just
if he had heart, then he would play back to backs and he wouldn't sit out because my big toe hurts.
But
that's how he sits out. He sits out because
but it's not him.
Hurts.
It's the organization telling him to shut it down.
Why is the
not shut it down?
So the organization even knows that he's soft, like the Tin Man, because they're saying we just don't trust your body. So the Lakers is probably. Do you consider AD a top 10 player?
Yes.
You consider LeBron a top 10 player?
Right now, yes.
So they have two. They're the only team in the NBA right now has 2 top 10 players on the same team.
But not like they're like lower. They're probably like 10 and 9.
They're still top. 8. They're still top 10.
Okay.
So while LeBron was out, AD could have held it down, right? He could have did his thing, and vice versa. When AD was out, LeBron could have held it down. But because everybody wants to make this excuse, right? But nobody wanted to make that excuse a couple years ago when KD was playing by himself and he was matching up against Giannis.
I always gotta bring back to KD.
Say?
You know, we didn't even talk about KD all show.
But hear what I'm saying. What did they say? Who cares? He should have got it done. LeBron, Harden was there. Harden, I could have did better than what Harden was doing out there. But they still want to make that same, thing. Harden was there. So I don't want to hear excuses because what we're going to say, let's run it back next year. Listen, Lakers almost started off 0-10 with both players playing. Let's stop it. That's a very bad basketball team. Reeves is looking like the best player right now on that team. But that's my team as the biggest disappointment in the West and pretty much probably the whole entire NBA. The Los Angeles Lakers.
All right, baby.
And that's all I have to say about that. But MVP, let's move on to MVP. Who is your MVP right now?
Right now?
Jokic, Embiid, or Giannis?
I would say Giannis. I say Giannis just because numbers don't lie. I don't have his numbers in front of me, but just even the eye tests, his impact is real. He probably won't get it because of he missed a lot of games, but he is.
A lot of games?
compared to the three.
Okay. All right.
He is a beast, and I think we're just taking his game for granted. I think we're taking all three nominees their game for granted as fans.
Mhm.
But I would say Giannis. But at the same time, because he never got one yet, give it to Embiid.
I would go with Embiid. I think Embiid got robbed for like 2 years.
No, he didn't.
I think that he should have gotten over. Like, people are so impressed off triple doubles. Who cares? I don't need my center averaging 10 assists.
But
That's what my point guard's
But they're
for.
they're
I don't need
converting
you.
they're converting into wins. Same way.
I'm just not impressed. I need Jamal Murray to average 10 assists. You're taking Jamal Murray's assists away.
But Jamal's getting more points off of it. He's feeding off of that. They're working together. That's what being a team is all about, man.
I just don't agree with. I don't care if my center is averaging a triple double. I need for you to rim protect and score. And he does one. He scores, taking limited shots, but he does not rim protect at all. That's just like, don't even look for him to defend. You know, I watched a game where he was playing against Thomas Bryant, and Thomas Bryant blew his back out. Pause.
Right. Pause, and pause.
Blew his whole back out. I was sick out there. I was like, how is this happening? This guy could barely play for the Lakers, and he's blowing your whole back out. Pause. It is what it is. So I don't like, to me, Embiid and Giannis, they play both sides.
They do.
Like, if you look at the numbers, whatever it is, you know, those guys are on all of the defensive numbers.
Right.
And Jokic is not. So, you know, also Embiid and Giannis average more points than him.
They do.
So, you know, Joker averages like 24 a game, you know, I think 11, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. Cool. It is what it is.
That's still mighty impressive, man.
But you just don't defend. You don't defend worth a damn.
They're still the #1 team in the West.
And this is why everybody's like, let the Lakers get in. The Lakers get that 8th seed, they're going to beat Denver.
They said that.
Imagine if you
they're basing that off of the bubble.
No, they're basing that off of because
Lakers
nobody's scared.
Lakers still don't have that chemistry, man.
But they're basing that off of, we're just not scared of you, Joker. We're not scared of you.
You don't have to be scared of Joker.
That's why they're saying
you got to be scared of everybody else.
But okay, so this is what I'm saying.
You got Jamal.
Put Giannis in there.
You got Portis Jr. and you got Ish Smith.
But what I'm saying, put
Told you about
Giannis.
Ish.
No, come on.
We're not talking about Ish, baby.
We ain't talking about Ish Smith since 2022,
Told you about
man.
Ish,
We're not
man.
talking
Shout
about
out Ish Smith, baby.
We ain't talking about
#1.
Ish. We haven't spoken about Ish Smith since last year. But hear what I'm saying. If you put Giannis and we just swap both players, put Giannis with Denver right now with the same exact team. The Lakers are trying to get to they're trying to get to the 2 seed, or they're just not. They don't want to make the playoffs. They don't want to make it.
80 don't want it. 80 don't want it with Giannis. We know that.
Now you put Embiid in there, and they're not even trying to get to the 8th seed. They're trying to get up to the 6th, 7th seed or higher, or they're just gonna say, listen, let's bow and wait till and let's just
80
focus
will
on
want
next
it.
year.
80 will want the smoke.
They're drooling over Denver, like, let's get in there. We can get these boys. And why are they? This is the back-to-back MVP. There's no fear at all of that.
You better be careful what you ask for.
That's all I'm saying.
Because all I'm saying is Lakers still don't have that chemistry. Denver does. And when it comes to those back screens and those back cuts, Giannis is gonna get his guys, and Lakers are gonna be looking at each other like this. The emoji. You know the emoji.
The emoji.
You're gonna see that. You know what I'm just. That's all I'm saying. Chemistry goes a long way in the playoffs, man.
Oh God.
You know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll see, man.
We will see.
We will see, man.
Moving along to some hip hop, man.
Yes.
Let's talk about hip hop. We haven't talked about hip hop in a long time. There's so much stuff that I want to unpack with you. Especially, we won't get it today, but the 50 Cent versus Lil Wayne. I know that you would.
You know, I'm going
be
50 all
into
day.
that. But Lil Wayne's gonna wash him.
No,
it's crazy in a versus.
Let's go 20 for 20.
That has to have its own separate show, man.
You know what I mean?
We keep talking about 50 too much on this show, man.
Come on, shout out 50. Power Book 2 was out right now.
And it's horrible.
Fire.
It's horrible.
Fire. 6 million people watched the first episode.
And 6 million people are disappointed.
And I don't know how many million watched the last episode, which was fire.
It's horrible.
Oh man, Lorenzo and Kane going at it, baby. Lorenzo and Kane. Come on, man.
That show's terrible.
You're not part of the universe. That's why you're not part of that power universe. We don't even want you in there.
I was there with Ghost.
It's okay. It's okay. And where's Ghost right now?
Ghost is dead.
No, he ain't dead. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. Just like how we don't know if you're in or not. You know what I mean? You're Ghost right now. You're Ghost. You're Ghost, man. Shout out Power, man.
Come on, man. You did me, guys.
Come on, man. Come on, baby.
Well, let's talk about 6ix9ine.
Oh
We don't
man,
talk about 6ix9ine often on this show. We haven't done it ever.
right?
But
Mm.
he finally
Got some hands
got
put on
caught.
him. Got some hands put on him.
Is he running out of money for security? Because they said security is very costly.
Of
So
course.
is he running out of security on why he was at a LA Fitness by himself
Not too
with the pum
sure.
pum shorts on? He got whooped
Listen,
in the
man.
pum pums.
Listen, a lot of the newer era of kids, even on the ball court, they be wearing them short shorts
I
now,
got
B.
short shorts,
So what are
but
you
them,
talking
but
about,
then,
man?
but them. If I bend down, you're not gonna see my draws. That's the thing.
Well, we don't know because he was on the floor, so it may
Hey,
have rubbed up a little bit.
why are you
Pause.
on the floor?
Because he's getting his ass
Why
whooped.
are you getting whooped?
Because he talks a lot,
There
man.
you go.
You know what I
Stop
mean?
talking.
I think
Stop talking.
according to academics, like 6ix9ine put up he was being very disrespectful to the Latin Kings, man.
Right.
And if for those in the streets that know about Latin Kings, legendary,
So was this at the
legendary.
soccer game? He's being disrespectful.
Something happened.
Right.
Something happened, and he
Okay.
just got caught slipping, man. And those
Well,
guys, I'm not saying it's the Latin King guys that did it, but it wasn't black guys that were giving him the beat down.
well,
You know what I mean?
we have to understand one thing. Like, um, everybody can be touched,
Everybody.
right? Like, you're not the baddest guys
Mm-hmm.
are no longer here. Because they got caught lacking at one point. Because it's not a life that you want to live where you got to sleep with one eye open
Always, man.
and you got to always look behind your back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You
So
can't press that stop and reset
you just
button.
can't.
You got to live with that, right? You
If
got
you
to
it's
own
some
it.
a lot of guys get caught up in things that they've done years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
it came and caught them,
Right.
years later, right? So we knew sooner or later this was going to happen. It happens to the best of them, the biggest,
Facts.
toughest gangsters. And 6ix9ine just talks way too much. He talks about the dead a lot, disrespecting a lot of people, and you know, I'm just surprised it happened just now. I thought it would have happened sooner. So
You know what? I hope maybe um this situation humbles him a bit.
I don't think it will,
You know
because
what I
even when he
mean?
was walking with the blood hanging from his mouth and he's walking barefoot in the pom poms, he was still talking like, you guys show me, like, bro,
Mm-hmm.
take that bass out of your voice, bro. That's
Mm.
not even you. When are you gonna act? When are you gonna be you? When
You
are you
know what
gonna
I mean?
be you?
Maybe this is him. This is what he
Nah,
transformed
this
into.
ain't him. He's just
Everybody, hey, listen, everybody evolves, man. Good or
listen,
bad.
man.
You feel me? So like this
He
is the new
he
evolution
he
of
wants to be in
Takashi
this. He
6ix9ine.
wants to be in this life, and then you're just ratting on people. Like, stay out of that life. That life's not you.
Mm,
You want to play with these street rules and these games, and then when it comes when things hit the fan, you want to tell on everybody
right,
to get yourself out of the nonsense that you were doing.
right.
You know, so again, I don't want to wish harm on nobody. But when you disrespect people and violate people the way you've done, you're gonna get back. You're gonna get back a lot
Nah,
coming
real
to you.
talk,
So
real talk, real talk.
this is why I walk and I humble myself, and
Always.
I don't disrespect nobody, and I do me, right. So I can live comfortably, I can sleep comfortably, and I'm good,
Okay,
right. You can go anywhere you want to go in the city
facts.
because you respect everybody, all circles, all areas,
Yeah,
east,
man.
west, it don't matter,
Don't
right.
matter.
And I do the same. So it is what it is, man.
I
So
mean,
hopefully this could humble him,
hopefully, man.
because the
Hopefully.
next time it might not be, and he might not be so lucky.
He's lucky he just got hands put on him
Exactly.
and a little bit of foot.
Yeah.
I
A
seen,
lot of
I
foot.
seen, I
A
seen,
lot of foot.
yo, I seen one kick went straight, like
Yeah. A
directly in the
lot of
head.
foot.
You know what I mean? Because he was covering, he was blocking his
Yeah.
face, and
I
every
seen that
time,
one kick in the rib that took
yeah,
the wind out of him. Like,
right.
ugh.
But see
Yeah.
what sucks? These guys knew what they were doing. Hit him in the ribs because it was open, and as soon as he covered his ribs,
Right
face
to
was
the
wide open.
face. Yeah, yeah.
Punches in the face, kicks
Yeah.
in the face. I'm like, damn, man, this is a life you want to live?
Yeah. Hopefully, like you said, this humbles him and
Shit,
he can do his thing.
shit.
But
Yeah, man.
uh I'm moving along. Troy Ave. Troy Ave.
Damn,
He took the stand
he did.
against Taxstone. The podcaster,
Mm-hmm.
podcaster, gangster, whatever you want to call him. But that whole incident that happened, I want to say in 2017 or 2016, the Urban Plaza. So it's been going on for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and people are now calling Troy Ave a snitch. He took the stand. Taxstone got he's convicted. We don't know how much time he's gonna get, but I'm assuming it's gonna be a lot.
Right.
Um, and you know, Troy Ab's right hand man Banger's no longer here. Rest in peace to him. He passed away in
Rest
the
in
whole
peace.
ordeal.
Definitely.
Um, but a lot of people, I watched a Joe Button podcast, I watched a few other podcasts, and they felt like Troy Ave should have did this a different way.
Mm.
They didn't feel comfortable with him going on the stand because he wasn't he wasn't he prior to all of this, he was snapping on rats. Rats is this, rats is this. I would never do this. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's like after this happened, oh, the streets is the myth.
Right. He's
The street
basically
life is
saying
the
there's
myth.
no code. There
Right?
is
So
no code.
he came back like running like, I'm getting on the stand. I don't care.
Right.
The streets is the myth.
You'll get on the stand for your against your enemy. I remember Paid in Full, Cameron's character,
Mm-hmm.
when he got nabbed at the end, he was in the orange suit, and he said, "I'll give up anybody that's in Washington, whatever, whatever." But he
I'm just
won't
not
get.
ratting. No,
But he ain't
nobody
ratting
from
on nobody in
in
Harlem,
Harlem. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So when I saw that, me being just strictly ball, mama's boy, I ain't about the streets like that. But I do know a lot of people in the streets. You know what I
You're a
mean?
civilian. I'm a
I'm
civilian.
a civilian,
Yes, I'm a
right?
civilian.
But I knew. I thought to myself, I was like, okay, so are you allowed to snitch or are you not allowed to snitch? Or
I'm snitching.
you
Don't
can't
mess with me. I'm calling police.
you
Quick.
can't snitch on
Quick.
you can't snitch on
Don't play
guys.
with me.
You can't snitch on guys that you do work with.
Hey, I don't
But
do
if it's
no
an
work.
enemy, somebody that you just don't rock with at all, then I guess snitching is okay.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
You don't handle it
So
like that.
that's why Troy Ave is saying there's all the street codes, all that is a myth.
No. You can't play by the street rules and then when things hit the fan, you want to get on and testify.
Right.
Him and Taxstone, they gotta handle it in the streets.
Right.
They gotta handle it in the streets. So when Taxstone, he wasn't supposed to testify, I feel, Taxstone was supposed to come home and they're supposed to handle it in the streets, however they're going to handle it. We've seen guys like I just seen the podcast with the Jim Jones and Mano. They were beefing. They had a crazy beef. They handled it in the streets. They said, "Listen, let me come talk to you. Let me holler at you." And they spoke and they talked and they hashed out their problems. And now they're like the best of friends, working out together,
Right.
doing music together. So
Right.
things. When I say handle in the streets, I'm not just saying okay, they got to go and kill each other.
They
No,
can talk it out.
if
You know what I
talking
mean?
it out is what's going to happen, man to man, or
Right.
if you're going to handle it in the streets. But you can't claim that you're a street guy and then go on the stand and then
Hey,
do what you did.
when the judge is throwing those numbers at you,
You,
you know
you
what I
should
mean?
you should know that.
Some guys
You
fold,
before
man.
I know this.
Right.
So I'm a civilian.
Mhm.
Don't mess with me. I'm calling the cops. It's just that simple. You hit my car, I'm calling police. You touch me, I'm calling the police. I'm a civilian. I don't play with football numbers and I ain't doing all of that. I'm a civilian.
Yeah,
Leave me
I mean,
alone.
because if you look at the camera, you see Troy Ave, even though he got hit in the foot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's letting that thing
He
off.
was on some, what do you call that game, man? Call of Duty
some
shit.
Call
He
of
was-
Duty. Like,
he was on, you know what I mean? He was on
like
straight
he had the
Call of
night
Duty
vision
mode.
on. Like, where's
So-
this guy?
So you knew he was gonna get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
So I could only imagine the numbers that were thrown his way.
Yeah.
You know what I
They
mean?
probably
15
said, listen,
to life.
you
Like,
about to take a 15, 20 years.
oh my
You
goodness.
better go testify. He said, yes, sir. I'm here. I will be there in the best suit I have. Huh?
Right?
Like,
Did he not? Did he make a track after?
he definitely made a
Oh
track.
my goodness, crazy.
He's using his resources. Obviously, he's a rapper.
Yeah.
And he's making songs about all of this. Like, I
Damn.
don't care. Like,
Damn.
dissing Taxstone and
Yeah.
it's funny to me, but not funny because someone lost their life. Banger. Treya's good friend, best friend, and then Taxstone's locked up and he's probably gonna do a lot of time.
Okay.
So it sucks in that regards. So kids out there, listen, if you're really a civilian, don't act like you're a gangster.
Right.
Don't act like you're a gangster because you're gonna be on stand doing this.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you're gonna be doing in your suit, pointing, and you don't want to live that life.
And remember, you got family too.
You got family.
Mans can't get you. They're gonna go. I'm just saying, I'm not promoting. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, no, that's just what it is. You're saying what happens.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth, man. So,
Right.
let's all be civilians and live a long life and have a good time and make our money in peace. And drink our water and mind our business.
That's it. I feel that right
So,
there. Drink your water and mind your business.
yes,
You know
sir.
what I mean?
So, that's all I gotta say about that. So I don't know if you have anything else. I'm
Nah,
good.
man. Hey, man. Shout out to CYBL, Hoop City, the Coalition League, the OBL, OBLX, it's OBA in general, Canada basketball. It's a beautiful thing. It's growing. You got kids 10 and under, 11 under, 12 under, all the way up to 14 under, and everything in between and everything
Yes,
above.
sir.
It's a
Canada's on the
beautiful,
rise.
beautiful thing. Shout out all the grassroots organizations holding it down for these young kids. Team Canada, I swear to you, by like 2030, you're gonna need to make 2 teams because the talent that's coming,
It's crazy.
it's gonna be a beautiful thing to watch. On the guys' side, on the girls' side, we're in a good space, man. We're in a very good
Absolutely.
space, man.
Yes,
You know what I
sir.
mean? Shout out Canada basketball as a whole. You know? And that's it, man. Hey, we're out. Continue to follow us. Instagram, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube. Shout out, our distant cousins, Tidal League. You know
Yes,
what
sir.
it is, man. And we're out, man. We're Hip
Let's
Hop Meets
go.
Hoops. Let's go.